Am I muted? Oh my gosh, I figured it out. I had the mute button hit because I'm an idiot. Oh boy. Feeling smart today, let me tell ya. So, I'm guessing the chat did not come up. Well, no, it's like a brighter blue, so I'm assuming that means it's engaged. I don't know how this shite works. Still trying to figure it out. Lots and lots of painting. I finished one and now I'm on the next, and I have 3 more to go. The one thing that's not fun about a round bat is that it likes to roll. And when you have paint on it, that's not good. Say hello, whoever you are. I'm gonna close my closet doors. At least a little bit. Hide some of the noise. Closing her. I guess that one's not getting closed because I got stuff on the floor in front of it. Am I still going? Yes, I'm still going. Well, I guess I could ramble like a lot of the lives do when there's nobody chatting. Also, if you hear my son in the background, it's just my kid downstairs playing video games. He's yelling quite voraciously. So yeah, my weekend has been spent painting, and I got a little dishes done. That's it so far. I slept till 2:08 today. I couldn't believe it when I looked at the clock. I was like, holy cow. I can't seem to get to sleep before 5 a.m. lately. And I normally get up at 11:45 for work. So sleeping until 2 tells me I really am not getting enough sleep. I gotta bump it back at least till like 4:30. And every day I say I'm going to, and then I don't. Kiki Memo. Hey, kitty. Wanna come say hi? Oh, come say hi. This is Sarge. He's our fat kitty. I promise he's not as upset as he looks like he is. Huh. Hey, kitty Memo. He's a good kitty. He actually lets me trim his nails. I just plop him in my lap and trim him with nail clippers, and he just lets me do it. Kisses. Yeah, he's a good kitty. Drives me crazy though, and he's kind of stupid. I don't know why the chat won't work. I mean, it's hard to know if the chat's working or not because nobody's chatting, but... Oh, did I make you have to give yourself a bath? No, I'm so sorry. I guess I will just keep painting for now. Until people come in and want to chit-chat. I'm trying to do this more often, but I try to also do it when there's nobody running around the house. So it's probably going to typically be pretty late. But now that I finally downloaded Streamlabs, I've been making a lot of videos, I promise. I just keep deleting them. I guess I feel like what I have to say is not, I don't know, interesting to people. I guess not just interesting, but I want the things that I say to be helpful, to be useful, to be, you know, thought-provoking, to be helping people to, you know, think about things in their own life and become more self-aware and work through their things. You know, sometimes just talking on the videos and helps me work through things that I'm having issues with, but you know, it is what it is. So I thought I'd try the live format for a while and see if that works out better, but so far they haven't gone too well. Either I haven't been able to stay on very long, or like the last one, when my chat was, or my mute button was engaged, you would think that every time you open the app it would just like default settings. Apparently not. But I'm betting that's what the problem was, as I had it on mute. Hello? Say hi. Oh, bye. Say hi in the chat, man. Maybe I should bring it down a little bit. I don't know if that helps or not. So my husband made this really cool thing the other day and left it on my desk. It hasn't been painted yet, but, or glued. But look at that. Isn't that cool? It's 3D reindeer and trees. That one definitely needs some help. It doesn't know what it wants to do. But yeah. So I was thinking we would just paint it all white and then you would put a light behind it. There's like a little hole for the light back here. And then it lights it up. That would be super cool. Super exciting. Or you could do like white with like gold glitter on it. That'd be pretty too. Well, it's amazing to me how some YouTubers can talk without people really engaging. I guess if you're gaming, that's a little different. So like I'm thinking about IBX Toy Cat, but he's actually playing a game, so he can always default to talking about the game if he's not sure what to say next. I know I can definitely talk. I've been a talker my whole life, but feels a little awkward in this format. My paintbrush is not cooperating. I have one hair, not hair, bristle sticking off to the side, and it's making my painting very difficult. Not to mention my paint very difficult. If you're trying to do any kind of decent artwork with acrylics, word to the wise, do not buy Apple Barrel. Not even for black or white. This paint is so garbage, and it makes it so hard to work with. So hard to work with. So I'm just trying to use up what I have. I made the mistake of buying a really big thing of the black because I use a lot of black. And now I have that much more to use up. Actually, I bought it because I was doing full canvases where I was blacking the whole canvas for my dot paint art. But then the husband started pumping out stuff for me to paint. And I guess I just never really went and got a quality black paint to work with on other things. I wonder if I should just switch to my gloss. I'm trying to think. The gloss would look ridiculous with the red and the white and the yellow. I don't think it would. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do... I'll finish this. This paint is just driving me up the freaking wall. So hard to work with. And I'm working with tiny, tiny little lines. And I'm trying not to mess up. This paintbrush like has, I don't know, 3 or 4 strands on it. And for the smallest areas, I literally just need the tips to touch the area. But there's a lot of, ooh, too much. There's a lot of re-dipping, because if you get too much paint on the brush, then you can't get into the tiny, tiny little areas. So, yeah. Oh, my hat slid down. That's funny. I learned to weld. Well, I didn't learn to weld, but I don't even know if I would call it practice. I guess it was practice at work the other day. One of my guys, I made a promise to him that if either one of us were going to be leaving that place of employment, that I would let him show me welding, basically. And he is officially going to be leaving in a couple of weeks, unfortunately. But, you know, everybody moves on to bigger, better things, and I hope that it works out for him. He's an ambitious, smart, driven kid. And he deserves to go far. However, I know that chasing the money doesn't always work out. Prime example is the place that I'm at right now. Not that it's not working out, it's just that it's not the ideal place to work, really. It's, they got a long way to go. I'll just say that. But it pays good, and I get Fridays off, so yeah. So anyway, I have a newfound appreciation for the welders, because I guess I didn't realize it was physically so technical. Like, I kept pulling the welding gun like away to look at the weld, and I couldn't really see the material I was working on, and you gotta have an angle, and you gotta make sure that like nothing's gonna catch when you're trying to make a straight line, and to be able to move smooth and steady, because it really messes up your weld if you don't. And like, there was a lot of stuff that I was like, wow, I did not realize how slow you have to go, I guess you can change your speeds depending on, you know, what you're doing, but they had me going slow because I'm new. But yeah, so that was fun. I've been doing more grinding too, so I can learn how to grind stuff well. Not only to help out from time to time, but just to learn it. I will probably eventually learn both welding, the welding and the grinding, just because I like to know how to do things that my people are doing. And to get a better understanding, you really have to do it yourself. To really understand what it is they're doing. So yeah, that it's definitely given me insight into that, because grinding is they make it look so easy when when he shows me how to do a certain area, he just like whips it out and it looks so easy. And when I go to grind it, you know, I feel like it takes 3 or 4 times longer. I don't know if I'm just not using the right force, or if it's just because I'm watching it so carefully to see what it's doing so that I understand what I'm doing. I'm not really sure, but he sure makes it look a lot easier. But also it kind of tells me how long grinding should take by watching him show me different spots. You know, it really isn't. Maybe it just depends on the person, because each person's going to grind different and have different different pressure and different techniques, I guess. Plus, you know, with short people, it's a whole different leverage point, so sometimes we got to move the parts to a different spot to be able to get the right leverage. I sure do miss wiring panels, though. I miss, you know, being good at what I did. I don't miss driving an hour every day, though. Especially in the winter. My hour drive would become an hour and a half drive. So I guess part of the reason that people typically will just keep talking in their lives is because the playback. You know, so if you watch the playback and then you know, have any comments you want to add. But between concentrating and trying to think, it's not going so well. We have had a pesky woodpecker who has pecked the siding on our house. He made a huge hole right outside my husband's bedroom, all the way to the drywall. So he's gone through the shingles, through the insulation, 2 layers of insulation, and now he was on the back side of the drywall, basically. We put some rocks in there, and I tried to tie some CDs up, but the day that I tied the CDs up, it was super windy, so they kept blowing down, which was so annoying. Oof. Oof. This wood is not very forgiving with black. Might have to do some light sanding at the end, because if I slightly stray out of the grooves, it just goes right into the wood. Typically I paint these when they're already not varnished, but they have at least a clear coat on them, so that if I goof, it just wipes right off. The bad thing about doing them raw is that it just soaks right in. What are you doing over there, Memo? Don't be getting in my closet, mister. Don't you do it. thankfully with some of this, I will be going over it with gray. Or not over it, but like right now I'm doing the outline. So the fill will be gray. So anything inside is good, because it'll get covered with fill anyway. Doesn't really matter if it smears. But the outside is where it's just going to be raw wood. So if it goes into the wood, it's not good. So I'm looking through a mounted magnifying glass, but if I'm really struggling, so here's my mounted magnifying glass. It's got a light, and then I just clip it to my desk. But if I'm really struggling, because it's too hard to get with the size of the magnifying glass, it's too hard to get my face in there and a paintbrush. So I'll whip this little bugger out and use my little circle here for the really tiny stuff that I need to see better. Yeah, that's a hot mess. I'm thinking I should be doing these lines with that, because I'm really struggling with it. I don't know if it's just the paint or if it's me too. Or I mean, just the paint or the paintbrush. I know the paint is just awful. Awful, awful, awful. Kitty, Mama, now what are you doing? Please don't come. There's one big pet peeve I have, and that's when the pets come in here and clean themselves. I do not want to listen to them clean themselves. It's very annoying. Kitty. He knows he should either lay down or get out. Sarge. Do I have to kick you out, man? Thank you. So we have the dog, I have the dog's water bowl and food bowl on a boot tray because he makes, you know, he's a Saint Bernard. He makes a lot of mess with the water. Well, the cat has been drinking out of basically the slop in the boot tray. And I can't seem to get him to stop. I put a refillable water dispenser that you tip over, you know, that refills itself, right next to his food bowl, which I know that cats don't like to eat where they drink or drink where they eat, but I'm trying to let him know it's there. It's clean, fresh water. And where does he go? He still goes right over to the boot tray. So I picked him up earlier and put him in front of the water, and he looked at me like, okay, what's your point? Jumped off the counter and went back to the boot tray. So I picked him up again, put him back over by the water dish, and again he looked at me like, I don't get it. What's your point? Jumped off and went back to the boot tray. I was like, alright, I give up. I guess if he wants to drink the dirty slop water, then so be it. Guess it's better than toilet water. But yeah. I now understand why cats have 9 lives, because they are extremely dumb creatures sometimes. I mean, dogs are too. Ours fell off the freaking roof trying to follow my husband up the roof. Yeah, I should be doing the 3. It's too hard with the paintbrush. Ugh. Maybe I'll move back over to the lettering. This is not working out well, so I think I'm going to move back to the lettering, which is white paint. And do the edges of the lettering. I did all the insides earlier, so I could come back and just go through fairly easily with the tiny brush and only have to do the outside edges. Oh, there's a hair. There's 2 hairs. So yeah, I don't know if you can see how tiny my bristles are. Doesn't really want to focus. That's with paint on. Focus, focus, focus. Oh, that made me think of the Hocus Pocus. I have not seen the second one yet. I know it didn't get great reviews. Yeah, it's just too tiny to see. You can kind of see the line. Anyway, I have not seen the second one. It did not get great reviews, I heard, but the first one is like such a part of childhood and childhood memories and my kids' childhoods. Like, you can't not see it just to have seen it. I have to see it. I just am not much of a TV or a movie watcher, so I haven't done it yet. Like, I just watched the Pirates of the Caribbean series 4 or 5 months ago, I think. I had only ever seen bits and pieces here and there on other people's TVs, but I had never actually watched it myself. And I finally sat down and watched them. I enjoyed them. I thought they were hilarious. And I think I watched them during the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. And I thought, you know what? If there's not going to be any more of these movies, I might as well go watch them and finish it. I typically try, not typically, not on purpose anyway, but I typically don't end up watching a movie series until they're all out. I think Harry Potter would probably be the exception, just because they were so far and few between. And we knew there was more coming, because we knew there was 7 books. You know, so it was like a little different setup. Yeah, this is working out much better than the black was. The black was making me crazy. I'll have to use my stronger little magnifier to do those. And I think for the rest of the black outlines, I'm going to switch to the gloss paint. I'm trying to remember if it's a... Where is it? Oh, right in front of me. Well, it's also apple barrel. Gotta figure out how this getting the camera to focus thing works. Focus, focus. Anyway, what does that say? Oh, that's a number. Anyway, the glosses all seem to be a slightly better texture, I guess you could say. So maybe that'll work out better. I think maybe I'll do the rest of the outline, black outlining and the gloss. I hope it works out better. We are in, I cannot believe we're in December already. But the good news is that means here in Minnesota, we only have like 4 or 5 months left of winter. Yeah, it really doesn't start to warm up again until the very end of May, July, or June, I mean. Like, at least warm to me. I feel like the winters make you so freaking cold to the bone that it takes like 60, 70 degree weather to start to warm up again. It's crazy. Cold for months and months and months. I don't know why any of us live here. Don't get me wrong, I've definitely we've had good luck with jobs, we've had good luck with housing. There's a lot of things that have been good here. It's just the months of winter are awful. I guess the ultimate solution would just to be able to jump in an RV in the cold months and go somewhere warm, but and you could even do that nowadays, you know, because if you have a trade that you can take elsewhere, you just have 6 months somewhere warm and 6 months in Minnesota, you know. Companies are willing to do that if you're good at what you do. Oh, come on. This corner on the sea is not cooperating. I'm making a mess, man. Making a mess. Alright, well, I guess 35 minutes is long enough. We'll keep trying until people start showing up. Thanks. Bye.